Alright, so the times are pretty crazy now that Microsoft owns Bethesda. So I think it's safe to say that the Xbox Bethesda E3 2021 press conference and just their presence at the event and Summer Games Fest overall is probably the most exciting or has the most potential. I think that they have so many games, so many developers now under Microsoft's wing, and I really do think that Xbox is working extremely hard at pushing them to the top in this generation. So real quick before we get started with the video, I'm Ryan Ramakrishnan. Thanks for coming along. I'm just doing a little series here where I'm talking about different publishers for E3. So let's start off by talking about Deathloop, because that is a very soon release. I mean, unless it gets delayed again. Deathloop is set for September. Obviously, it was supposed to come out in May, and I'm disappointed that it didn't, but I'm all for letting games take their time. I honestly don't expect that Bethesda is going to go too crazy talking about Deathloop at E3 or showing a major thing as a showcase, only because it's very well known. There's more than a few trailers. We kind of have a very, very solid idea of what we're getting, as like I said, should have been out by now. I'm looking forward to it. I don't really expect too much, but I feel like it'll definitely have like maybe just a new trailer or some footage mixed in somewhere, possibly in a sizzle of some sort. That is obviously a PlayStation game, and then there's the other game coming to PS5, which is Ghostwire Tokyo. It's hard to say that I'm more excited for it than Deathloop, only because there's so much less knowledge on this game, but this new title could be super cool. I loved both trailers. I like that it looks like it's got some scary horror type of vibes. It's an action game. It looks like there's gonna be some suspenseful stuff going on. Probably a very unique title. The only issue is that Ghostwire Tokyo is a PlayStation game and Bethesda is now under Xbox. It's a weird time, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to imagine that you would not show this game at E3, but it's also hard to imagine that you would when they're part of Microsoft. I don't really think that there's any new Fallout title coming right now because, well, you know, they're obviously working on some other big stuff. So I don't expect much of a presence, actually any presence of that franchise at E3. The Elder Scrolls 6 is in development. That's that game that is probably not going to be out for quite some time, in all honesty. I don't really expect to see it for another few years. I don't think we're going to see any bit of it at E3. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people want that. People are going to be asking, begging maybe, but I can't imagine that they would do anything really for this game right now. It's just a ways off, you know what I mean? However, there is that other major title, which will probably, I think it's going to be the showcase. I think it's going to be one of their big titles that Microsoft is going to be super proud of, that they can show this as an Xbox Series X title, and that is Starfield. So yeah, we got that Starfield teaser, right? And it was crazy. New IP, first time in so many years, Todd Howard was saying, and that is their next big project. So I think Starfield has had some time being cooked up here. It's coming sooner than we probably would have expected, you know what I mean? Like, my prediction is it's going to come out 2022, although I'm 50-50 on it, because in a way I was originally thinking that there's a little chance, bear with me here, it's a little crazy, but I think they might actually give us a real full gameplay trailer. Obviously, we've gotten nothing of Starfield but that title and a really cool cinematic reveal, right? So I think we're going to get actually like footage of the game, and I think there's a little bit of a chance that at E3 we get a release date of this year in the fall, exclusive to Xbox Series X. It could be such a big deal. It could be so crazy if they literally said Starfield's coming out in November and you can get it through Game Pass right then and there. I still think more so next year, but I know for a fact they're going to be covering this game at E3. It's going to be their big one. Another Bethesda title we really don't have anything on is, of course, the new Indiana Jones game. I'm really looking forward to this. I think that Indiana Jones is a franchise that 100% lend itself well to a nice modern action adventure game. I gotta imagine that it will have some elements similar to the likes of Tomb Raider and Uncharted, and of course similar to titles that were actually from these developers. Machine Games has killed it with Wolfenstein. I don't know that I really like the most recent one, but the New Order and New Colossus are awesome, and I think that Machine Games is going to do a really good job with Indiana Jones. I know that this title is probably a little bit of ways off. Like, I don't think we're going to really get actual gameplay right now, but I feel like they're going to want to give us something, and I feel like there's a chance, because it's E3, because of the hype surrounding E3, we might get a little trailer. It might not really show a whole lot, but I feel like the original trailer is such a tease. We might actually get a small trailer here. I would be extremely excited, like blown away if we got a new tease for a new Wolfenstein, though. That is something that I'm not going to even try to predict it here. I'm not going to say that's going to be here because I don't think so. We're talking about what I think and what I want, both in this video. So like what I want, yeah, I'd like Wolfenstein trailer, but obviously Doom Eternal came out in the spring of 2020 and it got its DLC. That game did well. I think it's too soon right now for a new Doom game, although though. Like, it would be pretty exciting. It's just way too soon for that. I do suppose that id Software could have a new game that they want to tease, though. Like I said, Doom is definitely too soon for that. I mean, they are the Doom team and they've done well with it, but maybe this future we're in where Bethesda is under Xbox, maybe they'll be working on some other Xbox franchise, or they'll be working on another new IP, or maybe they're going to be bringing back something else. Like I said, I just don't expect Doom, but I feel like id Software could possibly have a teaser for us, though. Whatever they end up teasing, if they did at E3 this year, it would be something that would not be out for another couple of years, I gotta imagine. Obviously, Arcane is working on Deathloop, which we talked about already. So the question is Arcane working on something else too that they might give us a teaser for? Because I feel like it's totally possible. Bethesda seems to be a publisher that is down to do that. Like, we did not need to get a title reveal for Elder Scrolls 6 when Starfield was already, when at that point, not even close to coming out, right? But they did it anyway, you know what I mean? So I feel like there's a chance that maybe, because Deathloop's getting ready to ship soon, it's going gold real soon, I'm sure, and then maybe Bethesda has a new title. Could be a follow-up to Dishonored, or it could be another Prey game, or who knows, but I feel like there's a little chance, like a small chance, that they give us a small teaser of something else for Xbox. So obviously Halo Infinite was delayed. It wasn't looking as good as people wanted it. There were some memes and stuff. You know what I'm talking about. That happened. So yeah, Halo was supposed to be a launch title for the Xbox Series X, if memory serves. I'm pretty sure it was even on the box. But now it's obviously got to come out this holiday season, and I think it will be the big one. Halo is a legacy franchise that people obviously have so many strong memories for, but then as of late, I feel like the series has evolved and maybe not been as like iconic for people. But Halo Infinite really needs to be a return to form. It really needs to be also innovative enough. It needs to be fresh. It needs to be really good narratively. It needs to have amazing online multiplayer, amazing gameplay mechanics, and it needs to be very polished and technically impressive as a Series X title. I think they're going to go extensive at E3. I think Microsoft is ready to show us a full gameplay demo. They're going to dive deep into mechanics. They're going to go into the online modes. They're going to talk more about story. We'll probably have some cinematic stuff in there as well, tied with the deep dive into gameplay. I have a good feeling that it's going to show some more promise than it did last year, and I think a lot of people are going to be really excited to get back to Halo. And yeah, there's going to be a release date. I think it'll drop sometime early November. Another Xbox game that everyone is really excited for, though it has far less information. In fact, there really is like nothing, and that's Fable, because it is another iconic IP under Xbox's wing. Yeah, the new Fable game is currently in development right now. We had that one cinematic sort of a teaser trailer. It was being developed by Playground Games, which is kind of interesting. I remember hearing the rumors, and then what did you know, it came true. There's a little bit of a chance that we have another teaser trailer that shows maybe something a little more about Fable. Like, I don't expect like a really full dive into the game. I don't really expect too much, because I think Fable is a bit of a ways off. Possibly it's going to be a holiday 2022 game. I wouldn't even be surprised if it's a 2023 game. But I do feel like they could end up just showing us another teaser. You know what I mean? Like some other cinematic, maybe throw in a hint of gameplay in there. I feel like people want that, so that would be cool. But I mean, speaking of the developers of Forza, it seems to be online. A lot of people are talking about new Forza Horizon coming for this year. Now, I would have said no, because I feel like Forza Motorsport 8 is coming, and I think that should come first almost. And then there's also the fact that, yeah, Fable's in development from Playground. But if there's one thing for sure, I noticed that a lot of game developers have multitasking in their projects. They're working on more than one game, and you know, one is going to come out before the other. And I think I actually could see a new Forza Horizon. I know that some people online have been saying where they want it to be, possibly Mexico or Japan or somewhere in the US. Really, I think that anywhere would be good, because they've proven that they know how to make beautiful environments and beautiful worlds to drive in. Personally, I want to go to Asia somewhere. I mean, I want to go kind of a little different. I would like to go to Japan. I'll take India, China. So I'm going to predict that. I think it's going to be maybe not like the most innovative in terms of, doing something crazy and different, but it will be technically beautiful. And I feel like I think it'll run at 120 on Series X. It's going to be beautiful, that's for sure, because Forza Horizon 4 looks so good. I think that there's a chance that we see a little bit of Forza Motorsport 8 as well. This is probably going to be a holiday release next year. That's how I see it. So yeah, I mean, I feel like we can possibly see something about it, just showing that, you know, they're working on the game with the tech and stuff. And I don't know if they want to like overshadow one Forza with the other, but I feel like there's a good chance that they do show both. But like I said, Horizon's coming first. Microsoft has State of Decay 3 in the works. State of Decay 3 had a really cool cinematic trailer, which definitely caught my attention, as most of those CG, you know, cinematic trailers do. But in the end, I don't know that I'm personally someone who's going to play State of Decay 3. I didn't play the first two, but they look cool. People obviously love a good online, you know, game with zombies and whatnot. And I think 3 does show some promise to be bigger and better for sure. I think that they're going to definitely give us some gameplay trailer. They might even go a deep dive a little bit. I think it's definitely a game that's coming pretty soon. I don't want to say as soon as like this, you know, in September or something, but I feel like it's going to be a game that's going to come out in like March or April of next year maybe. And I'm willing to bet that they will have something of it this E3. Hellblade is another big game, which is still crazy to think back, like that Hellblade's Senua's Sacrifice was a PlayStation 4 console exclusive for a bit, and then now it's literally associated with Microsoft, and Hellblade 2 will not be on PlayStation, right? So Hellblade 2 had a really beautiful and kind of creepy cinematic trailer, yeah. The game is obviously very anticipated. I think everyone really admires Hellblade, myself included. So Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, I am willing to bet that this game is coming very soon. Like I actually would, I want to say it's going to be out this year, though a big part of me does say, you know, February 2022. I think that they're going to absolutely give us a gameplay trailer because I think it's time for that, and it's going to be really cool. I think they're going to do a bit of like a developer deep dive and stuff in it too. That's my prediction, and I do think that it's going to actually have a release date of January or February of 2022. Xbox has Everwild being developed by Rare. Of course, this is potentially a very big game for them. I'm really excited to see what this is all about. I'm also not so sure that it's coming too soon. I feel like this is a 2022 title. I think that they're gonna really give us a nice gameplay of it. I think they're going to talk about it because it is, in the grand scheme of things, I think it's coming soon enough. Like this, I feel like this is going to be summer next year. Rare is definitely wanting to show us some more about Everwild, so I could definitely see it. Also, I would say that they probably will give us some new content update from Sea of Thieves. One game that was announced in 2018, Tunic, I was looking forward to it, and I kind of feel like this game should have came out already. Yeah, Tunic is definitely on the way. So it's set for 2021 apparently, this little Xbox game where you play as a fox and it looks like a Zelda game. I'm hoping that it does come out like really soon. I think they're going to give us a new gameplay trailer. It's going to look pretty awesome, delightful, charming, very fun, and it's going to have a release date of like July this year, yeah, like in a month, and it'll of course be on Game Pass. 12 Minutes is another game that I'm really excited for on Xbox, something smaller. I feel like some people might have forgot about this Annapurna title. It is coming to Windows, Xbox One, and Series X and S. I'm really interested in this because it's a time loop game. I always like that narrative in movies and games. You know, it's very interesting if done right. So 12 Minutes is seems like it could be a bit of a thriller, and you know, I guess you literally have a 12-minute cycle to solve this mystery. I think it's going to be a very interesting game. I do think that it's going to be coming out on like August. Obsidian is a developer who has potentially a few games in development. Avowed is a very promising, ambitious next gen or current gen, I guess, title. This RPG, you know, it was revealed, I guess, last year, and it is really hard not to be super excited for this Obsidian game because the developers obviously know their thing when it comes to role-playing games. The cinematic trailer we did get looked really cool. I love the aesthetic and stuff, and I love the idea of this big first-person RPG, big fantasy game. You know, it's going to be a big one that is probably not ready quite yet, you know what I mean? Think that I wouldn't be surprised if they did give us another trailer for it, but at the same time, like, it's only been a year since it was announced, and I think it's coming next year. Obsidian does, however, have Grounded, which is in early access. Pretty fun, unique game. I think that it's ready to really have a proper release, and that will happen this summer. I'm gonna say a little new trailer for that, maybe some more stuff in the game that we didn't get to see in early access, obviously, and a reminder that you will be able to play it properly now. Question is Outer Worlds is a sequel in development. Of course, I'm talking about 3 different titles from them. Avowed is this big one, so it might sound crazy to say Outer Worlds 2, but I kind of do think it could happen. So bold prediction, but I think E3 2021, they do announce Outer Worlds 2. It's going to be a small teaser. Maybe this game will be out relatively soon. Originally I was going to predict that it's actually coming out this fall, and it's already like ready more than you would have expected. But I think it's going to come out like in May next year, and I think we're going to get a trailer that shows a little bit of stuff right now, but it's not going to be like too big of a trailer, you know what I mean? Because I think that's coming later. Psychonauts 2 is apparently coming out this year. I am willing to bet we're going to get another gameplay trailer of that, and it's going to have a release date, nothing too crazy. It's not going to be like a really long trailer and stuff like that. It's just going to be, showing some full gameplay, not even too much cinematics, just showing really what you're getting into with Psychonauts 2. And it is going to have a release date. It's coming out in September, and it's of course going to be on Game Pass. I love that Perfect Dark is coming back. Presumably it's a reboot, and this is a Series X game that is being developed by The Initiative, a brand new developer who is seeming like they're going to be putting in a lot of high production value and effort into this, because this is going to be a big game. You know what I mean? This is a title that is not coming right now. I don't expect to see Perfect Dark at E3, unfortunately. It's something I want. It would be a get hype moment. Obviously in this video I talk about things that I want and things that I believe we'll see. A mix of both, and what I want is a Perfect Dark gameplay trailer. I think not yet. This game, I honestly don't think it's coming till 2023. And then I do think a Microsoft Flight Simulator will have a new trailer just to show us that it is coming to the Xbox Series X this year. I think it'll be out sometime in the fall. They're going to kind of show us that the technology of the new consoles really could make it possible, because Microsoft Flight Simulator is very impressive, I think this, just real quick, I want to touch on without any specific examples, but I think that Microsoft wants to show us some older games that are now going to be able to run at 60 or even I don't know about 120, but maybe some of them might. Of course, also just getting graphical upgrades, games running at 4K now, up-res, just looking better. You know how they do that. Xbox does a really good job. I think that they show so much respect to the back catalog, not only from their titles but other games as well. They're going to just give us a list to run down, maybe a little sizzle of games that are going to be running better now on the Series X and S as well. Same energy for Game Pass. I think that this actually could be huge, because they end up giving us some titles that are really big, that are really good gets for Game Pass. This has happened in the past, and I think it could happen, or really it will happen at E3 this year. I think that'll kind of lead me to a third party section. Again, don't want to really touch on this for too long, especially because I feel like I've been recording for a while. There's a lot to talk about with Xbox, but I think that there's going to be at least a few, it's not even like I know there's going to be a few third party games that will have a presence with Microsoft's E3 event. Battlefield seems like a safe one. That game is coming out probably this fall. Kind of excited to see what's up with that. A Ubisoft game, or a few of them for sure. You might throw in Riders Republic, or you might do Rainbow Six Quarantine or whatever, Far Cry 6, stuff like that. Don't really know if Elden Ring is ready to come out this year, but I do want to be optimistic and say Elden Ring is going to have a trailer at E3. So yeah, 2019 we got that trailer, which got people very excited. This seems to be a very big, ambitious title for them. Not to say that the other games are not, right? But I think that this From Software game is going to be epic, and they're going to show us some gameplay at E3 this year. It's going to end with 2022, and I think that's going to be a really big move right there. There's a lot of rumors about stuff going on with Take-Two, possibly new XCOM, but Avengers, so not XCOM, but in the same style, right? Bioshock 4, though, I've also heard rumors of that being a PlayStation only game. Don't know about that. I'm wondering if potentially any of these things could be shown here. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe Microsoft would have a new trailer for something from Warner Brothers, even though I kind of feel like they've been PlayStation associated. Just maybe we'd get Saints Row 5 here. Who's to say, right? So that's going to kind of wrap it up for the third party stuff, because I just feel like it's so open and I don't really need to have such a big conversation with that right now. There are multiple videos of third party publishers that I've already posted. I'm talking about Warner Brothers, Ubisoft, Square Enix, and so forth. forth. I've had a lot of fun in the last, I guess it was the last couple weeks, talking about a lot of game developers and publishers, stuff that I want to see at E3, some predictions and stuff like that. Been a lot of work, so I hope you guys go check out those videos. I'm going to leave you a link in the description below where I talked about all those publishers. It's going to be in the same playlist that this video is in as well, so you don't have to go through too many hoops there. I hope you guys enjoyed your time here. If you did, feel free to leave me a like, subscribe if you want to see some more content like it, and comment below your thoughts. We have a lot of upcoming Xbox games, so which one are you the most excited for? Do you think we're going to see anything from Fable or Perfect Dark? Do you think Hellblade 2 is coming out this year? Where's Everwild? Is Avowed coming anytime soon? Elden Ring, will it be here? Let me know all your thoughts about Xbox in the comments below. Thank you again. I'll see you all next time.